Hello everybody, it's Kenneth. In today's video, we're going to be continuing on yesterday's video of health and nutrition, but today it's going to be more practical uses like how to lose weight and what matters the most when losing weight and other things like what is BMI, right? But first, I want to mention for yesterday's video that taking daily vitamins or having your daily vitamins in the correct amount is a good thing. But if you take too much, it can have negative effects. So just make sure you don't take too much of any certain vitamin in particular. Now, first for today's slides, we have BMI. So BMI is sort of what like doctors or healthcare professionals use as like a base measurement of, are you overweight, are you underweight, like what are you? You can see on the chart that shows like underweight, normal, overweight, obesity, right? And on the right, this is the calculation. So basically what the doctors do is they take your weight and they take your height in some form and just do an equation with it. And basically what this results in is a number from anywhere from 0, which would mean you weigh nothing, so not realistically, to could be anywhere about 50, which would mean, as you can see, it's extreme obesity. But it's not necessarily accurate because there could be someone who's like 6 foot tall, like maybe 300 pounds, right? And you think of someone who's 300 pounds, you think, wow, they're overweight, they might be obese even. But what if it's muscle? Or like bodybuilders, huge bodybuilders that compete on like Mr. Olympia would probably be considered obese or at the very least overweight on the scale just because they have so much muscle mass. But you wouldn't consider them unhealthy unless they were like taking steroids or something, but just because of their muscle you wouldn't consider them unhealthy, right? So that's why this might not necessarily be accurate. Now, something that can be more of a helpful tool is the basal metabolic rate. And this is officially the minimum number of calories your body needs to maintain basic functions while at rest, such as breathing and circulation. But pretty much what it is how much your body needs to live, how much it needs for the organs to function, how much energy it needs to live, right? At the very minimum. And what this can be used in is helpful for losing weight, right? So we have a total daily energy expenditure, and this is how much energy the body expends in a day, as you could guess. And most of it is the BMR. That's 70%, right? And physical activity is only 20%. And so it's interesting because many people think that like working out, going to the gym is automatically going to make them lose weight and become healthy, but that's not necessarily the case because it's only 20% of the calories that you burn. So when as you can guess, when trying to lose weight, you want to consume less calories than you burn in a day. Because if you burn more calories than you consume, your body's going to have to get those calories from the fat stored in the cells, and then you'll lose fat or muscle, depending on your situation. But we'll talk about that on the next slide. So, pretty much what I'm saying is that really what you eat is more important than just working out. If you're not going to eat well, you're going to continue eating bad, then you're not going to get healthy. And that's like true even if you do see yourself losing weight, but you're drinking like 3 cans of Coke a day, you might be losing weight, but you might get diabetes. So it's really trade-offs, right? So that's really losing weight in general, is eating less calories than you burn in a day. And what might typically happen is that you'll lose fat. You're not eating enough protein in those calories to avoid losing muscle. And so you can lose muscle when working out and dieting, though, in general, because you have to make sure you're consuming enough protein, and the recommended amount is something like 70 to 100 something percent of your body weight, but pretty much just strive for your body weight if you're trying to gain some amount of muscle in like grams. So, like, say you're 100 pounds and you want 100 grams of protein a day. And what this does is it allows you to avoid losing muscle. And obviously, if you're trying to lose weight, you don't really want to lose muscle because fat is what's causing most of the issues. So that's very important. And losing fat if you don't eat enough protein, you will lose fat, but you will lose more pounds of muscle than typically you lose of fat because muscle's more dense. And you don't want that to happen because presumably the goal is that you just want to lose fat, right? And that's a good thing. Now, if you look at the screen, the how to avoid this should be under losing muscle. But so just keep in mind, losing weight, you have to eat less calories than your total daily energy expenditure, which is 70% BMR and only 20% physical activity. So you keep your calories under that, and you eat enough protein to match your body weight, or the body weight you want to be in some cases. If you can't make the if you can't match your current body weight, then the matching the ideal body weight you want to be is also okay. So just remember, if you're not getting enough protein, you're gonna lose muscle, and that's not good. So make sure you get your protein and that you eat below the goal or your BMR and physical activity. So your total expenditure, make sure you eat below that. Make sure you get enough protein, and then you'll lose weight. That's all I have for you guys today. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please like and subscribe. Thank you.